coach with the John Maxwell team and your host here on Fresh Start TV, providing real solutions for business success. And my guest today is Crystal Lindsey, founder of 333 Social Media in San Diego. Crystal, welcome.
Thank you so much, Dave. So happy to be here.
Oh, glad to have you with us. And we want to talk about how hot Facebook Live is. And you have a background in teaching and growing your social media business and a lot of happy customers. I've looked at your 5-star reviews on Yelp, and it's amazing what you're doing right now. So what is so hot about Facebook Live compared to just, let's say, boosting a post to your friends and trying to build your business that way?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been doing social media since about 2013, before Facebook Live came out. My first client was an interior designer, my second was a real estate agent, and my third was a music composer. So I really was able to try different things with different companies, and consistently, even before live video outperformed still posts. And then with the ability to use live video in 2016, I have seen 80% of the results have come from live video in specific cases with my clients. And so that really focused me to drill down and really look at some compelling statistics around why live video is outperforming. Now, some studies show that within the next 6 months in 2019, 80% of website traffic will come from video. So if you want to create a compelling Facebook ad, you need video. And I believe, and I know from my experience, that live video outperforms pre-recorded video. So I've had clients that spent $12,000 on a 60-second video. They put it on their website and did nothing with it. And what I'm doing instead is I'm coming in and helping them set up a basic tripod, some umbrella lighting, and then being able to talk their story language about what their client cares about. And this, we've seen an increase of, upwards of 150 to 200 reactions for under $20. We're talking 20 to 50 to 70 shares, and we're able to really target the people who know, like, and trust them. So live video gets 10 times the engagement as even pre-recorded video. So I've really been able to drill down on that within my business to really get results for my client.
And of course, by comparison, you've got Google AdWords, you've got YouTube, and those kinds of vehicles for advertising. And yet Facebook, at least right now, is so extremely, as you mentioned, price point, extremely reasonable and realistic, even for people just starting out. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. And that, I love to be able to get something, small thing, big impact, and get it on a dime. And live video, and that's one of the reasons that got me so juiced from the beginning, is live video allows for you to, in real time, incredibly efficient and practically free, is turn your phone sideways and tell the good news about you're changing people's lives. It's incredible.
So what's the greatest obstacle you hear from your clients? It seems so complex. As you say, you think I've got to have equipment, I've got to have, it might be expensive, and it doesn't sound very easy to do, and yet it can be very simplified.
Absolutely. The number one concern I hear from people time and time again is they don't like how they look on camera. And my tongue-in-cheek response is usually starting with, well, they're going to see you regardless, right? and that's the truth. It doesn't change if you're not on camera. So I think we just need to be able to break through that fear. And so I'm really starting a new series on my Facebook Live seminars, How Do I Live Stream Every Single Thursday, and going through how to break down these fears. But people just need to accept that video is here to stay, that live video gets more results, and you're paying too much for social if you're not doing it. So being able to break through that fear of how you look on camera, get some good umbrella lighting, stabilize your camera, and maybe interview somebody to make them look good. Those are some of the ways I've been able to help people break through.
Well, and as you know, people in sales and marketing, or people who have a business, real estate people, or whoever who are looking for customers, clients, people want to know, like, and trust who they're going to work with. And wouldn't you agree that if your video is like super overproduced and super professional, that doesn't communicate as well as something, less sophisticated? Would that be a fair statement?
Oh my goodness, you hit the nail on the head, because this is what I love to tell people and tell the good news about live videos. Again, it's practically free, it's real time, it's incredibly efficient. You don't go back and forth with the videographer and have your logo spin in and spin out. And You can't do these things. If you did want your logo to come in, or a lower third with your name and your title, or do multiple camera angles, you can still do that on live video. And so I think one of the myths I'm breaking down here is helping people understand, one, how powerful it is, and two, how simple it can be, and three, that you can make it as complicated as you want with multiple camera angles and close-ups and lower thirds and your logo, pre-recorded content. You could do all of that with live video. But regardless, what you said is true, and that is the authenticity factor of a live video being raw and uncut allows people to connect with someone on a level only second to meeting in person. Whereas if you pay all this money, and then my client who spent $12,000 on a 60-second commercial and then put it on their website and did nothing with it, that is money that they could have spent on 5 years of live video marketing and being able to repurpose it. So just really being able to win, spend less, and get better results. That's live video.
Oh, that is so awesome. If I may interject a personal example, I happen to live right down the street from where Steve Jobs went to elementary school, believe it or not. And so I thought, well, I think I'll just use that as a little backdrop and tell a little story. So I kind of did a walk down the street with my iPhone and did a little recording. And I boosted it on one of my Facebook pages. And I think I paid like 78 cents a click and got dozens and dozens of clicks for people to get my information, which I thought was pretty outstanding and amazing for a local guy like me who doesn't know what the heck he's doing.
No, congratulations. And this is the success I want people to really take, an investment in with their time. And you touched on a key thing. You did boost it, right? And so often people think they just put it on Facebook and then it's done. Yes, live video gets more engagement and therefore more reach and more views organically without any paid efforts. But if you take the time to create a live video, you need to boost it for at least, I would say $20 would be the minimum. 35, I think, is a really good sweet spot. Go for 50. And if you're layering in the people who know, like, and trust your brand, you pull down your LinkedIn contacts, pull down your Gmail contacts, you could scrape your Facebook friends, I could pull your Twitter followers, your Insta, whoever it is, the people who know, like, and trust you, and you say, hey, Facebook, here's a great video, and here's $20 and a list of people who know, like, and trust me, make sure they get to see this content. That's how you're able to get the several hundred reactions, several thousand views from live video for under $20.
And so here's a challenge that I had, and I finally kind of figured it out, or somebody told me in one of my trainings somewhere, is that, and you talk about this, targeting, and Facebook is excellent for targeting the right people in terms of the people who are looking for what you're selling or what you're offering.
Yes.
And Facebook allows a person to customize an audience and to dig down to those people. And from what I've seen on your website, you have a real skill set for digging down. This is kind of a term that came up. There's new terminology all the time, avatar.
Yes.
And so what the heck is an avatar, and what does it mean to customize an audience? How do you do that?
Awesome. Let me walk you in knowing this custom audience and how that leads to a saved audience and how you pull that from your buyer persona. It will sound really simple, I trust. So first things first is you can create a custom audience, just like I just described. And I have complete screen shares. You can do this in under 5 minutes. Once you have an Excel CVS file of your emails of people who know, like, and trust you, then you take those and you upload those to Facebook, okay? And then you can direct market those people. This is incredible good news people don't know of, because these are the people who are most likely to engage with your content, most likely to be a repeat customer, or most likely to refer you business. So you need to have that component. And before Facebook said, do you want this really small list of people who know, like, and trust you and are more likely to engage? Or do you want this really big list of what I call a cold audience based on zip codes and keywords? Right? Everybody wants a big list. 2 million people is great. But if you have to engage with them 7 to 12 times before they engage with your content, that's paying too much for marketing. So now you have this little list and this big list. Facebook now lets you overlap the two. So you can go ahead, once you create your custom audience, then you go create a saved audience and you check the box for all the custom audiences you've created that you want to include. So you can have specific emails embedded into, the people who are really interested in the key topics related to your business. Now, let me take this to what you said, though, the avatar. So first things first, you got to know what product or service is driving your business. Once you know that, you got to know what type of client, what client profile, client avatar, is most likely to engage with that product or service. And then based on that client avatar, you will know what are their needs, what are their goals, what are their challenges, their pain points. And those specific needs, challenges, and pain points are keywords in Facebook. And now when you create that saved audience, they're interested in entrepreneurship, video marketing, somebody who's interested in growth advancement, growth hacking, digital marketing. These are some of the things that I would use as a video marketing firm to be able to attract the people who are most likely to engage with my content. And I would layer in my LinkedIn contacts, my Gmail contacts, my Facebook friends, etc. So that's how it all kind of comes together. And Facebook has 2 billion active users. So they're the biggest billboard in town. They're the biggest show in town. And they also have the best detailed targeted information. And that's why they are the best value for digital marketing now.
That is amazing. And I hope that our viewers are taking notes, because you've been just dropping some gold nuggets here left and right. I've got my pen right here taking notes for myself, because I'm a lifelong student, constantly trying to improve. When I was younger, I used to know everything. But
I remember those days.
But I'm still learning, and I'm so grateful to have you on our show today, Crystal. This is amazing. So how have you helped typical clients have a breakthrough?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's kind of 3 main steps, right? So one is I work with the client to figure out their strategy. Second, I work on how to coach them on some live video best practices. For instance, I call it pop and prop, where you come into in the first 3 seconds as an example, but how to coach on best practices and get them ready. And then third is I actually help them repurpose their video, put subtitles, boost it to the people who know, like, and trust them, get it to YouTube, create blogs, all this really great stuff. But the 3 main components is going to be strategy, coaching on best practices, and then repurposing. So those are the 3 ways. For example, I worked with a client who is an all-female real estate team down here in San Diego, and they really were just struggling on social and posting cookie recipes and photos of their dog, and they weren't generating leads, and they really wanted to. So we actually sat down and created a strategy based on their client profile of what they cared about. And they're talking about military, and we found out what myths are related to military home buyers. And then they would go live every week and break a myth and use the easy button as they broke the myth. And it was a big group of beautiful women, and they talked about this, and they started to generate leads again and again every time they went live, and were able to repurpose that across their channels. And they saw their cost of marketing go down, they saw their engagement go up, and direct lead generation from live video.
That is fantastic. So let's take a little bit deeper dive into the word repurposing. What you're saying is, not only can you use it on Facebook Live, then you can take that same piece of information, you can transcribe it and put it into a blog. You can repost it on YouTube. You can even put it on LinkedIn or different places. And so repurposing is another big word that comes into play here, and I think you've described that well. Basically, putting it all over the place in a variety of formats. Is that a fair rough test definition?
Absolutely. The way I like to describe it is the sky's the limit, right? The no-brainer is that you should absolutely get it to YouTube, right? Once you get it to YouTube, YouTube is owned by Google. Right? So it automatically, the words coming out of your mouth are transcribed by Google. That doesn't get any better. So if you're talking keywords and you have an SEO keyword list you're using for your business, for your website, something like that, use those in your script and get it to YouTube. And now Google knows you want to rank for those key terms. So that's a perfect example of where somebody should start, an easy way to be able to start improving their search results and using that video. The step 2 from there would be then to use the embed code for that specific video on YouTube, and they could put it as a full blog on their website, a full article on LinkedIn. They can use it on a landing page. They could do Facebook ad for lead capture. That's what I've had a lot of success with. But absolutely, repurposing is where you can really get your money's worth. And why not put it in email marketing? If you have your email set up, send it out to your team.
So what advice would you give someone or recommend someone just starting out on social media? We've thrown out a lot of different terminology, a lot of different techniques and strategies, and yet they're going, what in the world is she talking about? How can I do all this stuff? I'm running a business here, 60 hours a week.
Absolutely. One is to really just, again, accept that live video is here to stay. It's your most effective way to get in front of your audience. And this is your tool to get it transcribed and create social media posts and all your content. And so there's no more, before content was the problem, there's no more problem about content if you're doing compelling Facebook Live videos. But the question you asked me is more pointed, and I want to answer that directly, is what would I say to somebody who accepts live videos the way to go, but just wants to get started and really cut through the red tape and get leads, right? And what I would say to them is specifically to speak your client's language. And that's the simplest way. You can't go wrong. If you don't stabilize your camera, or you don't have good audio, or you don't have good lighting, people will forgive you. But if you're talking about something that somebody doesn't care about, you're not going to see the traction, regardless in video or transcribe. So you need to learn what your clients care about, again, by doing that client profile, client avatar process and brainstorming it. But really figuring out what are their needs, what are their challenges, what's keeping them up at night, how is your problem going to, how's your product going to help them with their problem and become the hero and win the day. So once you get used to that and how to really speak your client's language, you can't go wrong. So I would just really encourage people to figure out what's the FAQs they hear about that product. Each one of those is a Facebook Live topic, and really talk in a way that the clients can understand in the words they care about.
So you made a very strong point there, is that every industry has their own insider terminology and language and acronyms for different things that people don't understand. And they just want to be talked as if you're sitting at Starbucks across the table from somebody and just having a normal chat. And yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I find this really interesting. Donald Miller, I'm doing a book club on him, building a story brand, but I've been following his podcast for years. And what he taught me over the last couple of years is really, really, really insightful. And that is that you, Dave, and I myself are level 10 experts in our field. Okay, we've been doing this for a long time. We know what we're talking about. We have really high quality problems and thoughts about our industry, right? But people buy at level 1, 2, and 3. And so we need to bring it down to the basic questions we had when we first got in our industry. So if we can remember, you know, for me in social media, it's like how to build a Facebook page was really overwhelming when I first did it. And I had to choose, is it a brand? Is it a public figure? Is it a storefront? What were the ramifications? I mean, like simple things were stalling me out. And now I want to have very high level conversations. So I have another client who does $1 million backyards. And he has this really in-depth experience on how to keep the scope of the project, and the engineers come together with the architects. And he has this really high level conversation that he wants to bring to social. And I tell him, you have to bring it down to level 1, 2, and 3. What are the questions people are asking you in the very beginning? What are the questions they're asking you right before they sign? And what are the questions they're asking you throughout the design process? Those are the questions we need to talk about. So don't talk about what's important to you. Talk about what's important to your client.
Exactly. Like in my years in the radio business, people didn't care how many watts the radio station had or who the latest programming was. They says, you know, radio station WIIFM, what's in it for me?
There you go. I love that.
So what's the number one tip to increase someone's social media reach?
Number one tip is to really be able to focus on helping people and provide value. So if, again, go back to speak their language, figure out the FAQs you're getting asked again and again, and really sum it up with what's their goal, what are they struggling with, what's a 3-step process that you can take them through to guide them, and do you have a case study, and what's a clear call to action. But it doesn't matter if you remember all the mechanics of going through and going live, if you can really commit to providing value and understand that you need to show you understand their problem and what their challenge is, and provide value on how to help them get through that. That positions you as a thought leader, that gives you top of mind awareness, and people will raise their hands and engage with you. You no longer, this is what I loved about you, Dave, you were talking about, stop, chasing clients and start attracting clients. How do we do that as business owners? And that's by leading with value on topics that your clients already care about.
And as we learned from the old Zig Ziglar saying, be a giver. Be
Yeah.
generous and just begin. Just start.
Well, and that was going to be my other tip. It was going to be a little too simple. But the other number one tip is just get started. If I'm talking to Mary Fain, and LinkedIn specialist down here, does a lot of live video. And she talked about her number one tip is just schedule the live, and then you have to do it. You'll figure the rest out. I don't know if everybody's ready for that, and that may cause a lot of anxiety, but
Yeah.
that's what people have thought. If you know you're very vision oriented and you follow through and you have a good commitment, and you don't get totally freaked out and paralyzed, that's a great strategy. And then if you don't, if you're intimidated by that, then brainstorm the FAQs, brainstorm what your client cares about, and then schedule your live, and ideally bonus points for getting somebody on the chair with you. Because Dave, just like you are interviewing me, it makes you look good as you're the expert in the field, right? It's just as it makes me look good to showcase my expertise. It's a win-win, and your audience is winning because they're getting both of our knowledge. So really taking that time to interview. So those would be my 3 tips. You asked for one, but lead with value, just schedule it. And if you can, get somebody on the screen with you to really make them look good, and it'll make it a lot easier.
I wanted to comment on that. I have a dear friend who actually is a lumberjack who's
Wow.
transitioning to entrepreneur, and he has just jumped into it, feet first, and he's online, and he is so awesome. I'm so proud of him for just moving forward as you were talking about, and just getting going and getting started. He gets better and better and better all the time. But he is out there. He's got a big following now. It's just really cool to watch the transition as he grows in heart and mind, and in his business as well. So let's talk about, first of all, what is your website? We want to get that out there to everybody.
Absolutely. So you can find me at 333socialmedia.com, and you can also find me at 333marketer.com. So marketer.com is transitioning into my new brand development as your go live marketer, where I'm just doing live video marketing. Social media shows you the end-to-end management and how I support businesses for public speaking and for social media.
Excellent. And so let's talk about, you just mentioned something. What I hear you saying, and this is one of your services, is if somebody wants to get started with Facebook Live, that you are actually willing and have a service where you can just go ahead and do it for them. If they don't want to do it, they don't have time to do it, they're uncomfortable doing it, but you can actually create some videos for them and help them launch on Facebook Live. Is that right?
Absolutely. We offer live stream done for you. So I have a client who calls it the scary button. And no matter, for 2 years, I've been doing his social and he refuses to go live. He has just hired me to be the spokesperson for his company and go live and talk about the challenges at level 1, 2, 3, the questions that people are asking and how they help overcome. So we offer live stream done for you. And that's why I provided the 2 websites. Because again, 333 Social Media has been around since 2013. We do a lot of public speaking and really serving the community through that. However, now through Go Live Marketer, which is the culmination of everything we've been creating, Go Live Marketer allows live stream done for you, and I will in fact come out and either interview you as the business owner and make you look good online, or I will interview your strategic partners and actually on your behalf and get that across your social media as well.
And so I noticed that you're serving brick and mortar businesses, local businesses, for example, real estate companies, and as you mentioned, some of the other clients you have. So this is not just for people marketing, their pills, potions, and lotions online, so to speak.
Yeah, no, real estate is a really big industry, especially San Diego, Silicon Valley, a lot of money in real estate. And so really going to their open houses and either showcasing the best part as the backdrop or holding the best part hostage and giving them the tour of the rest of the house and saying you have to come to see the best part is one example of how we use live video. But yes, this is for mortgage companies. This is for children's book. This is for men's fashion. This is for, every type of industry you can imagine. If you have people important to your business offline that's sending you business, then this would be a great opportunity to interview them online on your behalf to be able to deepen that relationship and start generating referrals.
Fantastic. And so, boy, we're so grateful to have you with us today, Crystal. This has been outstanding and a lot of information packed into just a few short minutes. So I want to see if you can give us some kind of an offer for people watching today that we could help them move forward. And what do you have for us?
Absolutely. So, Dave, you have asked me to do something special. And for you, Dave, and for your audience, I have delivered. So typically a one-time interview where I'm interviewing you on your channel and helping you pull that footage down, put subtitles on, and boost it to your LinkedIn contacts and a saved audience. That whole process is about $380. So for your viewers, if they mention this broadcast, I will give them 50% off and do a complete interview, subtitles, custom audience, boost, and post for $189. It's an incredible deal.
Wow. Wow,
Yeah.
That's fantastic. What a great way to get introduced to Crystal and all the other things that she can do for you. That's fantastic. I appreciate the offer. So, and if they, let's say you have a way for them to contact you on your website where they can maybe put in a keyword like Fresh Start TV or Dave or something so that you know that they got this information from here. How does your website work for them connecting with you?
There is a contact us page. You can go right to my 333socialmedia.com and just click contact us. You can message us through the Facebook page. It doesn't matter. You can even send me a text message. As long as you mention Dave Henning, I will be your Go Live marketer and give you the 50% discount.
Are you, speaking of text message, are you okay with giving out your phone number here?
Absolutely. 650-660-9592. And again, that's Crystal Lindsey with 333 Social Media, your Go Live marketer. And my cell phone for text messaging for setup will be 650-660-9592.
Great having you with us. My guest today has been Crystal Lindsey with 333socialmedia.com. And it has been a really great interview. Great to have you with us, Crystal. And we invite our listeners to get a hold of Crystal. Look at her Yelp reviews. Holy cow, 5-star reviews from a variety of different people. And grateful to have you here. Thanks so much for being with us. Have a great day.
You too, Dave. Thanks so much. Ciao.
Bye-bye.